friends. How are you?
It is December 26th. I hope you had a good few days to yourself with your family and you just ignored a lot of the news that was happening. I knew it was going to be insane, and I was hoping that would have stopped. The insanity was the end of it with the pardons, but no, it carried on. I can show you why in a minute. I have been looking at a lot of charts, and yes, Don Julio's cosmic fingerprints are all over this. All over. And that's just at the first glances. I'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to look at some of the asteroids. This, if I say this name, my thing is going to buffer because it's a trigger word. But this is that city in China, Wuhan. It is associated with major incidents that have happened to our nation with the 1918 plague, with 9/11, and with Pearl Harbor. That showed again. I didn't show it to you guys at the quarter moon. I didn't show any of the asteroids because intuitively I just felt like there was so much happening. We were going to keep it simple, and unfortunately this thing reared its head. There was a question about this yod that was in the chart, the finger of God. Wow, is that huge? And these are some other things I hope we can talk about in this moment together. I know it's the day after Christmas and people are busy, so my goal is to keep this simple and short because I know I have to come in and check in and out as well. So I just want to make sure I get some important things out there before I forget about them and things get ahead of me again. So, welcome back, newbies. If you're new to my channel, I'm so glad that you're here. It's like you're really lucky if you found me because the YT algorithm really wants to not show you my corner of the YouTube universe. So, if you're here, you are meant to be here. If you don't know anything about astrology, that's fine. I use astrology and I use the tarot cards, but that's just for me to interpret the story that's in front of me. And by using the horoscope and multiple decks, an astrology deck and a tarot deck, I am better able to make sense of how the horoscope talks to itself. Because if you want to think of them as a three-dimensional thing with a bunch of people doing a lot of things at once, that's the depth we go to. Also, there's a lot of astrology types of charts out there and horoscopes, and there are different methods and means to interpret or for what charts that you use. I use a particular chart in here called the solar equilibrium chart. I'm just throwing that out there for you advanced astro people because we do see this. Okay. This is for entertainment purposes only. And then the last thing I want to be sure that I clarify so that this is absolutely clear. There are two major things happening in 2020 as far as conjunctions go. And the one that everyone knows about is the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that happened on December 21st. Many people equate it with the age of Aquarius. It absolutely is ushering in a new start, a new beginning, and one that is much more humane and focused on science and also freedom. The United States natal chart has her moon in Aquarius, and the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction happened in Aquarius. So absolutely, if the USA moon is in Aquarius and the moon represents the people, this is a pretty good luck charm for we the people with these placements in Aquarius. But the other hidden conjunction that happened this year that not a lot of people know about unless you've been listening to my channel all year, because it is what I base everything on this year, is the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that happened on January 12th. We are still in the first synodic cycle of this Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Just as the Saturn-Jupiter was revolutionary, it hadn't happened since the year 1100 something. The last time we had Saturn-Pluto like this in Earth signs with Uranus and Taurus was about 7,000 years ago. And 7,000 years ago, that Earth energy lasted maybe a half of a year and nothing was really tight. Stuff spread out quickly. This has been a solid year with stuff connected tight. That's why 2020 has been so difficult. So that is just what I wanted to let you know about before we go ahead. So you can tell I have a lot of charts here. And in order to explain what happened in Music City, because truly that city, that is what everyone calls it, Music City. And I'm not going to say it because I'm sure that's going to get me all, buffered and unhappy. So, what I'm going to show you here, this was the quarter moon over here, December 21st, and that was at 6:41 p.m. I'm going to take this off because I have to show you something later, but this is the exact same thing. I just cut it out of a piece of paper. We're going to need this later. But also on that day, we had the Capricorn ingress, the first day of winter, which was at 5:02 a.m. over Washington, D.C. Then we had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, which was at 1:23 p.m. And then we had the quarter moon, which is what set the tone for the cycle. And I believe we are still in eclipse energy from the new moon in Sagittarius. And this is so important as well. So that is what this chart is. Okay? So we're looking at this chart, the quarter moon. This is the same chart. But as you notice, I drew the yod here because when we did the quarter moon teroscope, the astrology card gave us this yod, this destiny, which is so insanely important. That's like the biggest fingerprint. And I'll explain that. We also have, for Music City, the time when the recreational vehicle arrived. Actually, it is a screenshot, I think, that came out from the local police department saying that it was spotted in the area, and this was the time. So that is the time that I used. Wow, is this chart interesting? And then when it went off and exploded, you are not going to believe this. This has to do with asteroids. So let's come over here. So this was at the quarter moon. Like I said, you don't have to know astrology, but I just need to explain some things about this chart. So this line going across the ascendant, this is the eastern horizon. So when you were born and the moment you first took your breath on Earth, there was a sign coming over the eastern horizon. That's why I always say it gives life to the chart, because that's the energies that are coming in. You have a sun sign and a rising sign. The rising sign, the sign on the eastern horizon, is the sign on how people know you, your first impressions upon the world, how you're perceived by the world, and how you perceive the world. Okay? The top of the chart, that's when, the Earth was spinning, but I say that the sun was rising to its highest point in the day. That is very symbolic because this is where in our chart we're guided, our highest public self and our highest goals. And then later, as the sun moves on into the afternoon and the evening, it sets in the west. And then when it slips beneath the horizon, we can't see it anymore because it's on the other side of the world. Okay, but that's because this is spinning. So at this Capricorn Aries third quarter moon, we had the sun at 0 degrees Capricorn here in this area of public servants, investigations, day-to-day operations, military, self-care. And then the moon was over here in this 9th house. I always say this is Putin's house because this is lands that you travel far away. This is also the law enforcement, your faith, your hope, it's other cultures. Well, so we have these two areas activated. The thing that I caught my eye that we didn't talk about last time, so if you look over here a little bit more closely now where the sun sets, there's 2 asteroids in this area. It's called the 7th house, which is the area about your partnerships or your open adversary. But this is where you have agreements with people. If you're playing in sports, it's your opponent. So Donald usually sees this area as which is we the people. He sees this as his opponents, his adversary. He's always at war with us. When that unfortunate event happened with Mr. Floyd, this area was lit up with astrology. I believe we had Neptune's sacrifice. That was the astrology card that came up here. And when really nasty things happen, there's a real focus here. So there were 2 asteroids here, we the people. And the first one, look at this. This is the asteroid America. There really is an asteroid named America, and there's an asteroid for George Washington. But this one, America, that was at 28 degrees Capricorn. There's 30 degrees in a sign. So it's like getting to the end. And when you have things getting to the end, the 28th, the 29th degree, we say that those degrees are anoretic. They're life-taking. They can mean death, endings. But something is coming. There's a real finality because this, whatever's in a sign at these late degrees, it's doing its final work before it moves on. But when you look at this 28th degree in Capricorn, it's really significant because on the day, for example, Pearl Harbor, we were attacked, the moon was 28 Cancer. It was exactly opposite this 28 degrees here. And when you have 28 degrees Cancer, Pearl Harbor was attacked by an outside enemy. Well, the sign opposite Cancer 28 is Capricorn 28. So this attack came from within. See how that happens? The attack with Pearl Harbor, 28 Cancer, it was over here. That was from an enemy, a hostile foreign enemy. In Capricorn, this attack is within. And the other indicator of the attack we have, the asteroid Wuhan, just moved in to the 7th house. This Wuhan, when it is active, it's really lethal. It has an intention to take things out and spread catastrophe damage and usually take a lot of death with it. Now, so this is at the quarter moon. This was the new moon. A week before that, we discovered that Donald's natal WH asteroid was going to be activated with the Russia and the China. Something was going to happen. I think that's when these plans probably got started, and now we're seeing this now activated at this quarter moon. So that is a decisive attack involving America in one of our vulnerable degrees, 28 degrees. Cancer is Pearl Harbor, 28 degrees Capricorn today. So I wanted to show you that. I wanted to show you. Now let's move over here. No, yet, since we're talking about anaretic degrees, I'm going to show this to you. So this was the chart. Here's that 28 degrees Cancer again. Look, it's at the top of the, or this is 26 degrees Cancer. At the bottom of the chart, we have 26 degrees Capricorn. This is when this thing arrives. It's at 26 degrees Capricorn. Look at this asteroid, America. Do you see that? It's at the end of the line. It is at 29 degrees, 59 minutes. There's nowhere else to go, and there's supposed to be some sort of attack. So this asteroid takes 4 years to orbit the sun. At 1:22:38 a.m., 29:59 Capricorn. At the time of it detonated, exploded, 6:30 a.m. Asteroid America now has moved into the first house of identity, who I am. It is contained. And now it is at 0 degrees Aquarius, 7 minutes. Boom. It arrives. It's 29:59. Boom. It's at 0 degrees, 7 minutes Aquarius. Not only has it moved into a new sign, it is in the sign of Aquarius. It has not yet reached the magical place of the people, where the people, we the people, grab onto it, where Jupiter, Saturn were conjunct to create a new order of freedom and friendship. Nope. That hasn't been activated yet with a lunation. This is the first time the moon is on the move in a lunation. So it's like everything that was is still stands. And so it has yet to make its way to that magical point of the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. And now this asteroid, Wuhan, is at 16 degrees Aquarius. The 16 is active. It reminds me of the 16 degrees Wuhan that Donald and Russia and China shared 2 weeks ago when they were making plans. So the 16 would sextile that right there in this area of secrets and hidden enemies, and just effortlessly, boom, we got it going. It's like how it still exerts control. Donald is having a really hard time since this Jupiter-Saturn on December 21st went into air signs, because you cannot contain air signs. You cannot stop air and keep it from moving somewhere. You can't just build a wall and have air abide by it. No, air is about freedom. In Capricorn, an earth sign, yes, you can build a wall and intimidate and stop and obstruct people and maintain control of the world, and you think you're in charge of the world. Donald is desperately trying to get everything to go back the way it was in Capricorn, and it won't. And he's screwed, and he knows it. Intuitively, he knows it. It is so raw and so painful. His pain is everywhere on these charts. And so let's talk about that part right now. Oh my gosh, we're already 20 minutes. I'm going to talk about this yod, and then I'm going to end this video here because we're already 20 minutes, and it's December 26th. You guys are busy. So I have figured out what the yod was. The yod in astrology is a type of triangle that is formed when you have a 60-degree angle. This is 150 degrees. This is 150 degrees. It's a very specific type of triangle. It's often referred to as the finger of God, because it's so fated. You will see this in death charts. But when something happens, this is like fate. It's the timing where things go boom, okay? So this is in this area of income, gains, values, and possessions. So this yod, I figured out, the 0 degrees Aries and the 0 degrees Saturn, Jupiter were the anchor for it. And then 150 degrees, it comes to 0 degrees Virgo. So we know that because this is also, the sun rules this area, and the sun represents the President of the United States. So this is his yod pointing to him about a thing that he values and is so important. You know, yeah, Tarot, show me. Show me the yod. Show me what's so important to him in his values and income that have to do with what happened, okay? What's at the point here? At the point. Okay, this is money laundering. He can't money launder anymore. He cannot provide something of value. He's been incapacitated in being able to do this. And the other point of this jod, the moon, the emotions, this is in Putin's house. And here we have deception with Neptune. We also have Chiron, the wounded healer. The wound he has to heal, he can't. And it's in Putin's house. Look at, the quarter moon has the 9 of Cups reversed. This is the Trump crime syndicate. Reversed is inept. He's mad. And so is Bill Barr resigned. He can't get the law to help him out because this area has to do with the law. He wants to escape. So what's this moon about with this yod? The sun represents the photos. Reversed, it also means this is achieving a goal. This is unable, did not meet a goal. The other part anchoring this we have magic, manipulation. 7th house, we the people. What does that have to do? Oh my gosh, it doesn't. Okay. It doesn't want to show me. Nope. Oh my God. What is it? Holy cow. Okay. Holy cow. Is this it? Which one are you? It won't separate. There it is. These have been election burdens in the past. The money he owes. Putin. The banks. The loans. Think about all that money that is coming due. He cannot launder it. He failed to achieve a goal. He has no money. And now he's going to inflict pain on the people because of it. What do we have on the bottom here? Yeah. He can't hold on anymore. This 4 of Pentacles, this is such a disturbing card for me. I know it means stability, but when I see it with these guys, this is literally taking without asking, abusing without asking. It totally reminds me of his history of assault. I just do not like this card. So, oh gosh, 24 minutes. So that's the yod. I'm going to end it here. Now you know what the pieces of the yod look like, and now I'm going to show you how it goes directly back to Don Julio and how this was so painful for him. Okay, if you like this video, please click like, please subscribe, please check your notifications, and please share. I would appreciate it so much, okay? Part 2 coming up.